Just ahead on American Sunrise, the sun is up in our nation's capital while the government is shut down. How long will this go on? Who's to blame? We're going to take you to Washington, D.C. for answers. Plus, President Trump's Secretary of War Pete Hegseth both offer their visions for the military. Get back to basics. How was it received by service members? Well, we have some reaction. And the NFL has chosen rapper Bad Bunny, whoever that is, for the Super Bowl halftime show. MAGA is furious, at least those who know who they are. What does this mean for the NFL? Well, we have those stories, so much more. As American Sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Good morning. I'm Dr. Gina, and apparently I am completely not in the know on all things pop culture because Colin in our control room tells me that Bad Bunny is so popular that I absolutely know his songs and don't know that I know his songs, which wouldn't surprise me. We are live with you from Palm Beaches. Let's bring in David Brody in Washington, D.C., and T. Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I kind of cringe when people call him a rapper. As a rap fan, I don't consider Bad Bunny a rapper. I would say a reggaeton artist or something like that.
What?
But
What?
technically, in my mind,
A reggaeton?
reggaeton. It's kind of a Caribbean / Latin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
influence
clearly need
music.
I need to turn off the news at some point, Terrence, and pay attention to entertainment tonight. Is that even still a thing? I don't even-
Gosh.
You know what, Dr. Gina? Playing reggaeton in the background while you're watching the news, I'm telling you,
Hey,
that
girl,
right there,
I'm a
that's
country
living.
girl, and that's
living.
country and Christian music and hymns. That's all I listen to. I'm not going to be listening
He
to any
could be
rigaphony
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, he
We're
could
going to
be Bugs
happen.
Bunny. No, he's
Rigatoni,
Bugs
I like
Bunny.
to
Just
eat
call him
though.
Bugs Bunny.
That is hilarious. Well, look, one of the things that I'm sure you've seen this morning, then, Dr. Gina, since you are such a news buff, is headlines about the government shutdown. Fox News has this headline, which reads, "Government shuts down after Congress deadlocks on spending deal." Of course, the Senate tried to pass another clean CR yesterday late, and it did not pass, so we are shut down. Chuck Schumer writing on X, "It's midnight. That means the Republican shutdown has just begun because they wouldn't protect Americans' health care. We're going to keep fighting for the American people," he writes. Republicans, of course, calling this the Schumer shutdown, saying this is all on Chuck Schumer. So, David, why don't you weigh in first? Where is this thing headed? And obviously, I suspect it's no big surprise. We all knew it was happening.
We knew it was happening. We said it for weeks. Grab a seat. It's going to be a while. Though John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, will go ahead and take vote after vote, day after day, to try to get more Democrats to get there. What I mean by that, just so we have the math, you need 60 votes to break the logjam in the Senate. They're going to be, even though there's 53 Republicans, it'll really be 52 because Rand Paul's a no. So you need 8 Democrats. And yesterday they got 3 Democrats. They got Fetterman, Cortez Mastro, and Angus King, who caucuses with the Democrats, even though he's an independent. That's 55. So what Thune is going to do is continue every single day to try to pick off some of those maybe not as far left in terms of the Democrat Party and see if they can get to 60. We'll see. By the way, Gina and Terrence, quick little update from D.C. If you're coming here, as they like to say, check your local listings as to what's open, specifically. The National Archives, for example, closed this morning in D.C. Until further notice. That's, of course, where the Declaration of Independence and many of our documents are. But the Smithsonian is open, at least through October 6th. The National Zoo is open. Of course, your mail is still going to be delivered. Social Security, Medicare, those payments are going out. IRS, shockingly, or maybe not shockingly, will continue to operate. Of course, they'll still take our taxes, even though the government shut down, Dr. G.
Yeah, of course they will. Whenever we get to this point where there's going to be a shutdown or a threatened shutdown, and people start listing off all the things that are closed, I'm thinking, we pay for that to be open every day? How about I mean, have you ever, when you're in Washington, D.C., even when you were first there as a tourist, did you really go to museums every single, how about they're open, I don't know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we save all that expense? I'm just saying, like, it's not necessarily the Smithsonian I'm talking about, but I'm just talking about all the things, all the expenses. When they start listing them off, my mind always goes to, how about we cut them? How about we don't bring them back? But I know that's not where a lot of Americans' minds are. And I'll tell you what, the Democrats are going to weaponize this. This is their last great hope, for real. They are hoping this shutdown can bring them some votes in the midterms because, folks, this is all they got. Let's check out today's Bible verse. It's from Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Our rest and our refuge is in the Lord. On the days where we are tiredest most of all, those are the days we can cling to him the hardest and get the most strength. Also making headlines, President Trump signing executive orders. Ravs on Brian Glenn. Oh my goodness, is he in the Oval Office these days? For this event, I had a lot of exchanges actually yesterday. Pretty much President Trump, I think, is Brian's BFF. But take a listen to this.
What is your message to America that this potentially could bring us all together, get us on the same page and have unity? And I'd like to see if some of the kids or the parents have what it means to you to see President Trump get involved.
Well, we've made tremendous strides in cancer research, far more than anyone has done. And we have the greatest minds, the greatest people working on it. And childhood, they call it childhood cancer. It's a very specific thing. And we've really made a lot of progress.
Let's bring in the man behind the voice. That is Rav's own chief White House correspondent, Brian Glenn. Brian, like I said, lots of news today, but I think you're President Trump's favorite media dude. I don't think there's any debate about that. You stole the show again yesterday. I want you to tell us about that, but also I want you to talk about this government shutdown for just a second, because will it be different than other years in the past where the party in control invariably got the blame by all news media? Because this time it feels a little different, but the Democrats, they're going for that jugular for sure.
Yeah, it does feel a little different. Let me go over some of the hardest hit here. The EPA, 89% furlough. That's around 13,000 employees. Education, 87. Commerce at 81. Labor at 76. And as many Americans go about their day, they'll start to kind of realize that, well, maybe this government shutdown doesn't affect me as much as I'm told it was going to affect them as much. Now, just recently, they'll continue to have votes, by the way, to try to pull more Democrats to support this. As of lately, I think they pulled 3 more Democrats to vote for the GOP, so we'll see exactly as that total ends up. The total damage, if you're looking at roughly 500,000 plus federal workers will sit home without pay as the no deal was reached by midnight. So I think it is going to play a little differently this time, because it is about essentially extending those health care benefits to illegal aliens and migrants, and that's something obviously I think the base, the American people, just quite honestly don't understand. So if that's the hill they want to die on, then that's it. But the last time we did this, we went 35 days. It was in December over the holidays, which is a little different than it is right now. I don't think we're going to go that long. I think we do get this done probably, I would say, in a couple of weeks, to be honest with you. I think everyone's going to kind of find a place in the middle. We'll get this done and get this government back open. But it will, to your point, I heard you guys say earlier, there's a lot of things that you don't realize that do we really need 7 days a week opening for some of these museums and some of these parks? I mean, why can't we, just like the mail, you look at the mail service, that's been debated for a long time, how many days we should offer the mail service. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. And speaking of headaches for the Democrats, I mean, they've got to take Pepto-Bismol on this, and then they have a situation where President Trump and Pete Hegseth doing their best General C. Patton look yesterday. There it is. Look at that. That's a beautiful shot. President Trump laying out how he wants the military to return to fitness and strength. Take a look at this.
We're bringing back a focus on fitness, ability, character, and strength. And that's because the purposes of American military is not to protect anyone's feelings. It's to protect our republic. And it's the republic that we dearly love. It's to protect our country. We will not be politically correct when it comes to defending American freedom. And We will be a fighting and winning machine. We want to fight. We want to win.
I'll tell you what, with everything announced yesterday by Pete Hegseth, the war secretary, and Trump, you got to wonder if a wellness check is not needed for the far left right about now. They can get 10% off, by the way.
Use a
promo code. I think we lost you. He was
Okay,
going to
well,
talk about a promo code.
I have a quick trivia question for you both regarding General Patton, because you're right, that did harken back to General Patton while we're waiting to fix Brian's audio. Do you all know what breed of dog General Patton is famous for having?
Is it a
No,
terrier?
I do not know.
It is an English bull terrier.
Oh, wow.
Don't ask, why would I know? Don't ask me how I know that. When you said it, I was like,
English bull terriers,
terrier.
they are legendary. Clowns and cavaliers. I know, I have a weird dog breed knowledge. I don't know why.
I figured it wouldn't be a poodle, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. it
English
wouldn't be
bull
a poodle.
terrier, considered a gentleman's dog back then. They're the Spuds MacKenzie dog with the big nose, better known as the Target dog these days. But in those days, it was General Patton's dog. Brian, we're going to thank you for your time and let you go because
Are you back?
We're going to have him.
Is he back?
There he is.
I'm
We're ready to say goodbye.
I'm
See you
blaming
later,
the
Brian. No,
audio.
just kidding.
I'm blaming the audio on the government shutdown. Apparently, the audio cable is attached to the government. Therefore, we ran out of audio space. I think just to wrap it up, I think bringing back the physical standards. I got 3 text messages from friends that enlisted in the military back in the early 80s, and they said, look, we love that it's going back to this standard to make us the toughest and most fierce military on planet Earth.
No fact.
Hey,
General,
Brian,
the president said.
really quickly, because this was something that President Trump, or that came out really last week, but we haven't heard a lot about. Now that the government is shut down, what's going to happen with those firings? Again, all the departments were told to kind of make an assessment and that there could be mass layoffs. What's the latest on that? Has there been any talk around the White House related to that?
Not as of right now, but I would imagine a little bit later this afternoon, Carolyn Levitt has a 1 p.m. press conference. I would imagine that will come up. And programming note, I am traveling with Pam Bondi today and the Department Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth. We're going to Memphis to kind of do a walkthrough to get ahead of the National Guard and all the troops that will be there on the ground in Memphis. So stay tuned for that. We'll drop in throughout the afternoon hours to give you updates from Memphis.
Nice.
Don't go to A&R do go to A&R Barbecue. Don't go to Rendezvous, because they feed you with plastic forks. For that kind of money, I want some real silverware. Just me. Sorry, fat guy problems.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a fat guy as well. Thank you very much.
All right, you guys. Brian, thank you again for your time. Coming up, we're going to check out the hottest headlines from the Rap Newsroom with T-Base. And later, President Trump gives Hamas just days to accept or deny the proposed peace deal. Will they take it? We're closing in on his timeline, and we have some hits just ahead on American Sunrise.